So I was a military pilot for 9 years, and when I realized that I didn't want to be a pilot, because I'm a philosopher, I'm not a machine operator, I did realize that I had no idea what I wanted to do with myself. I knew I wanted to do something kind of important and interesting, but I had no idea what it was. So I decided to leave and travel around the world to try and figure out who I was and what I wanted to do. I've traveled to 60 countries, and I've lived in 15 or 16 countries on 6 continents. There's no one wonderful country. Every country is wonderful for different reasons. You know, I'm here in Colombia because Colombia is wonderful for reasons. I lived in China because China is wonderful for reasons. Everywhere I go is wonderful for something. So there's no one. My favorite country to live in, just because it seems like they have a similar mindset to me, is actually Russia, in Moscow. But for visiting and traveling and even living in many different countries, every country is wonderful. So during all my travels, Colombia actually got missed. I was traveling through Latin America. I spent a year traveling through Latin America. And when I was in Brazil, I loved Brazil. And I was telling everybody, oh, Brazil's my favorite country in the world. But everybody I'd met who'd been to Colombia said, but Colombia's better. The biggest thing for me is learning new ways to think, learning new ways to live. Realizing that there isn't only one way, that there are many ways to be and to live and to see the world and to organize your life and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm a philosopher, so for me it's all about the new and the discovery and stuff like that. So one really funny, interesting experience was in Mongolia. I lived in Mongolia for a little while, and one of my co-workers was a Mongolian, and he took me out to the Mongolian countryside where they're still nomadic. They still travel around and live in yurts, like these tents. And he took me to visit his family who live out there like that. And this family they were horse breeders. And so they had all these horses, and some of them were championship horses, because horse riding is extremely important in Mongolia. And when we entered their yurt, there was just medals and pictures and trophies everywhere for all the things that they won. And so anyway, they went to take us riding on their horses. And I've only ridden a horse a few times in my life. And also, Mongolian horses, they're famous for being very strong but very small. So when I'm sitting on this horse, my feet are almost on the ground. And so anyway, I just walked up to one horse and said, oh, I want this one. They're like, oh, no, that's the championship one. Like, you can't handle that. And I was like, I'll be fine. Like, I want to do it. I want to try it. And so all my friends got on other horses, and I got on this championship horse. And while we were going at first, my horses always wanted to run. So I was the whole time just pulling it back. It wanted to run. We were all just like trotting along. And so then we stopped at a lake, taking a bit of a break. And then when we're coming back, because when we were going along at first, we were trotting because we were in a field. And in the field, there might be gopher holes. So the horse might step in it and break their leg. So you don't want to run fast in the fields. But then when we're coming back, we were coming along a dirt road. And so my friend, the Mongolian, he wanted to see how fast his horse was, so he went like this, took off. So I was like, oh, I want to see how fast my horse is. So I went, boom, he just took off so fast. And like completely like left my friend way behind me, and he knew how to ride horses. And so I was completely alone driving, like riding this horse, and it was going so fast, and I could barely hold on. There's like a metal ring that you hold on, and I was holding on so hard that it actually ripped the top off my finger. And we're going along so fast, and I was trying to make him stop, so I'd pull his head back, and so he was just running full speed with his head straight in the air, but he didn't slow down. So I'd pull it to one side and to the other side, and he wouldn't slow down. He was just going faster and faster and faster. And I was actually afraid for my life. I thought I was going to die. And so finally I took it and I pulled it like really hard to the right. That sent him into the field, and still he didn't slow down. He's running through the field in a big circle. And finally we're running back straight at my friend. So I've gone in a huge circle, now I'm running back at my friend who's still way behind us. And because I was running straight at him, the horse just stopped. and I just jumped off, and I was like, take this away from me. I can't handle this. But it was really a crazy experience.